Well, happy Monday. Markets were moving a little bit today with some random movement as well, which we'll cover in this video. This is from my live stream on my main channel, Trades by Matt. It happens every morning at market open, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. So go subscribe over there so you can watch these streams live, which is what these videos come from. I am trading my 20 50K funded accounts with Apex. You can use code TBM for 80% off during the checkout process. And yeah, I took 3 trades. We're going to go ahead and dive into those right now. Yo, good morning. You know what? If you did something fun this weekend, let us know. Did anything fun? Let me know. I went to a concert on Friday night for one of my friends. That was fun. His name's Forrest. I think this was his best live performance yet, which makes total sense. As you do things longer, you typically get better at them. But I was blown away at how good it was compared to the last show I saw. So that was exciting. And then Saturday, we went to the pool and hung out with some friends. Had some margaritas. Good time. And yesterday, did some lunch with friends. And then nothing really else. I watched Gran Torino for the first time last night. You know Forrest Frank? Yeah. In fact, he made our original intro song. Yeah, not the AI cowboy song, but the other one. Both iterations of the other one, actually, he has. Those are his original beats. Yeah, good movie. I can't believe I hadn't seen it before. I don't know why. And it was not what I was expecting it to be either. Can't even remember the old song. I was thinking about changing it back. And I forgot today, but I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll try to do it tomorrow. Maybe the intro or the exit. Yeah, very good movie. Anyways, watched that for the first time. Right into VWAP. Little melter pre-market open into VWAP. Okay, so Friday. Let's see what we did Friday. Friday, fairly mellow. We know this. So far, we are just around yesterday's close. Friday's close. What? 610, 615. 15 points off, 20 points off yesterday's close. We're up 0.11% on the day. Opening up a VWAP typically is a little flat. We'll see. Right at yesterday's value area high as well. So we're opening up at yesterday's value area high and VWAP. The VWAP side makes me think choppy a little bit. Markets are open. Typically VWAP opens are fairly choppy, but we'll see. If we hold yesterday's value area high, we hold VWAP. If we hold this level, I think the rotation through the overnight highs is very doable very quickly, personally. It's a personal belief because we're holding yesterday's value area high and the overnight highs are what, 50 points higher? It's not that much. A rip through, I think, is very much on the table. If we fail to hold VWAP in yesterday's value area high, yesterday's close and yesterday's point of control, 610, 615s looks obviously very doable. It's 20-point flush. And then value area low from yesterday is 485. So a little bit more of a flush with the overnight lows being at 510. So 100-point sweep to the downside if we crack 610, in my opinion, for the retest of the overnight lows. But like I said, holding VWAP and value area high to me just seems a little bit more on the table, with the overnight highs being 30, 50 points higher. But we'll see. I don't think a test down into 610 is unlikely. I think a test into 610s is very likely. Bounce it, rip through. But who knows? We'll see. We're here to be patient. I'm going to be smart, be patient today. Things are better when I do that, so I'm going to do that. News-wise today, we've got Fed inflation expectations at 10 o'clock. And other than that, nothing. There's been some global news, some more attacks and stuff. U.S. troops getting scrambled in the Mediterranean, which I thought they already were, but apparently they're getting even more scrambled. So we'll you know, that's all technically happening. Just want to point it out. And yeah, let's have a good Monday. How does that sound? Okay, here's yesterday's close. We're finally doing it. Yesterday's point of control as well. 610, great bounce spot in my opinion. I'm still 6 minutes from being green lighted to trade, so I'm not taking this, but very interesting spot. Delta's a little slow here, but with a VWAP open, you kind of anticipate a little bit of a rotation back, especially off of yesterday's close and yesterday's point of control. Good for a little bounce, it looks like so far. We'll see. If we snap through yesterday's point of control, then like I said, I'll be watching for the overnight lows. But I think this is a pretty decent little spot, so we'll see what happens. It's lit, it's lit, it's lit. Let's see. It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! I got two dad jokes for you while we sell off a little bit here. All right, joke number one, from Saturday and Sunday, the 10th and 11th of August. What did the seal with one fin say to the shark? If seal is broken, do not consume. Pretty mid, kind of funny, pretty mid. All right, August 12th, Monday. Here's the dad joke for today. My book about clocks finally arrived. It's about time. Those are both, honestly, while I don't necessarily love the jokes, they are very dad jokey. So that's good. Okay, coming into the overnight lows. This is quickly approaching what we had talked about pre-market, which is, you know, we slap yesterday's point of control. We make the quick rotation of overnight lows. We'll see if it fully plays out. We're kind of hanging out at 50 cycle level here. I am green lighted to trade officially. It's been 15 minutes, but we'll see. Let's see what happens at VWAP. Value area high on the session as well. Heavy close through VWAP usually yields upward expansion, right? So like if we close strong through VWAP and we don't just like reject off it in the next 2 minutes, I think we're going significantly higher. But if we're going to slap off of it, kind of rotate it back down, then I would like to see the lows get traded. Depending on what buyers are doing here is where I'm kind of interested. This would be the more aggressive buy, would be 621, 620. I'm not really willing to give it that super aggressiveness, but I think odds of us just pushing straight through value area high are pretty high. I mean, look at this. This was straight green for 100 plus points. All right, red line algo holds us up, huh? So we regain yesterday's value area high. We closed through strong through VWAP. We regain yesterday's value area high. What's the next stop, chat? Overnight highs. And look at this. Look at this 1 minute chart. It has been straight up green the last 17 minutes, minus one red candle, and it has been a 150 point push in the last 17 minutes. Jeez. I have a question. Why would you expect it to reject off of VWAP before breaking through it? A lot of people, I mean, it depends on the person, depends on the price action. A lot of people like to play rejection off VWAP, but it depends on the price action, depends on how strong the buyers are. I was not trying to fade VWAP just then. I mean, it was like a really strong push right up through it. Then you close through it. I don't know why you... I mean, people will play the first test of VWAP often for a quick little rejection, but... Okay, we barely do not run the highs there. Technically a cheap trade up here. I still kind of think that we run these highs and push the overnight highs, but... I mean, we're getting a little heavy around here. It's technically a cheap trade. I mean, that 80 test... It's not terrible. Doing risk like 60 bucks. Something like this. Did I miss that by a tick? Bro. Because we are starting to see a little bit of selling, and then the buyers come through and I get stopped out for $70. 3.5 points. Cheap trade. I should have probably maybe killed it when I didn't get filled here and then saw the buyers come through. I don't know. I'm fine with the test. We got initial balance setting in 9 minutes. The best test of that would have been this very first one when we failed to sweep through, but I don't even know if that was a 10 pointer. 81. Yeah, that wasn't even 10 points. There's the overnight high run as well. Overnight highs get run. The biggest pullback so far has been this guy, which was 83 to 50, 330 points. And then, I mean, a 50 point runner straight afterwards. Thought you didn't like counter trend trades? I trade counter trend. I like to go with the trend as well. I like to trade counter trend if it's showing weakness, which I thought it was, and it's a cheap trade. But you're not going to see me just like stacking trades in like this whole way up if it's not a cheap trade. But being at 80s, magical 80s, us being up 150 points without hardly a pullback, Delta kind of selling off, it's worth a shot for me. 3 points. And look, this invalidation point is good, right? Because I get stopped out and we run another 25 points off of it. So the invalidation is fine, right? I'm going to risk 3 points. I'll risk 3 points if it means a clean invalidation, right? When the market wants to rip, it wants to rip. Look at Delta. Yeah, but I mean, even here, we had Delta kind of failing off, right? So if we push this, it just kind of, again, just kind of signifies to me that it's just a slow grind day. We'll see, though. I mean, we're at that 720 level, that right around that daily level that I was talking about. I think it makes sense to kind of rotate this a little bit, but rotate this back down a little bit, but who knows, right? How do we trade it moving forward? We got 30 seconds till initial balance is set. Once initial balance is set, it'll be a lot easier for me to buy the highs. I actually enjoy buying the highs once initial balance is set. But I still personally would like to see a little bit more of a pullback and then pump into initial balance just for my own, peace of mind. But we'll see. Here we're coming in for the wick. Where would the invalidation point be? Potentially 72. Got to give it 10 points. Kind of closing heavy. Oh, not really, actually. If we fail to hold 85, then the rotation into like volume at 60s looks decent, or value area high at 50. Not really that many sellers currently at play. It's an interesting idea. Just don't know if it's even going to get filled. Delta being the main concerning thing here, and we've had like one single red candle and 200 points up, but I don't even know if I'm gonna get the fill out here. We've seen plenty of times where we get a little like popping hammery candle like this on a day where we're actually just like in full rip mode to the upside, and it just pushes straight through this. So I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I am trading my 20 50k accounts though. If you want to get started trading 20 50k accounts or any of the accounts, you can use code TBM for 80% off right now. Go to tbm.gg/apex to see the different account sizes and those prices that are on the website, and take 80% off of those. Once you select an account, you'll put in code TBM, and then when you go to the next page, you'll see the discount applied. My most recent upload from like a week or two ago is me passing 20 of the 50k accounts. So you can see how I do it, some tips and tricks, etc. I think worth a watch, but whatever. This is what I was just talking about too. Like if we like plenty of times we see it on the downside. I would say we see it on the downside more than the upside, honestly. Where you have like a huge sell-off, you get like one green candle that looks like this just reversed in the midst of a sell-off, and then it just slaps straight through it the following candles. I feel like that happens a lot, and we're kind of seeing it on the reverse now, where we had a really strong move to the upside, hardly any pullbacks. We get like one candle that kind of shows some signs of life on the pullback, and then we're just pushing straight through it again. I'll take this off. I really hope that's not the IB test. Honestly, honest to God, I hope that's not the IB test, because that is just a brutal 2 points. That's not enough. I'm gonna have to wait it out. And buyers are looking decent. This is what I was talking about. The fade back to point of control honestly looks pretty solid up here. This is a 6 point trade or something. 710 potentially rebid if volume's holding up. Something like that. If volume's holding up. Or excuse me, if delta. I keep saying volume. If delta's holding up. Looking at volume, point of control. I'm long. I'm gonna go and move my stop break even here. If we go back down there, I'm not interested, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up a little bit more. I like the rotation back up, basically, is all I'm trying to say there. I like the buy off of point of control with delta looking pretty decent, and then pushing kind of back into the top of the range or close to it. And this trade is already at a spot where, like, if it goes back down there, it's totally invalidated in my opinion. So it's a clean break even. And like, I know I preach base hits. This is like, I could have gotten a base hit already, but to me, this is a pretty like good trade to try and let run a little bit. Just based off where we're at. I either get stopped out, you know, or I don't. But I like the idea behind it, so I'm gonna stick to it for just a second. Now, if we don't get any buyers here on this next little leg at 20s, then like I'll probably just kill it. But trying to catch some buyers here. Like, it looks like it's about to try. It's IBH. And you can see that it looks like it's trying to flip it gray, and we can see if we'll get through IB or not. Got 2 minutes left on this candle. Break that prior high. Broke the prior high. I'm gonna go take that off. I took 320 or something there. I'm not interested in a 30-second, you know, we have like a minute left in this close is super heavy. I've seen that price action play out way too many times. Oh, and look at what's happening. Nice. Yeah, I've seen that play out way too many times where you kind of like, you make the move. It seems like it's going to flip it green. It doesn't flip it green. Gets very close, does not flip it green, and then retraces it. Seen that way too many times. To be honest, that type of price action situation, that trade management is literally just like, honestly, I hate to say just like a been there, done that sort of move for me. I've seen this play out so many times that it's just like pattern recognition in the head almost more than anything. Time on screen. But I'm up $220 after that trade. Closed it almost to the highs. 31. I left it 6 points off the highs. And I'm happy with that. I think that was a good managed trade. I don't feel any shame about that trade. I would have gotten stopped out had I let it go. Like had I let it flush, I would have gotten stopped out. Obviously a little bit more than a base hit. I took 290 on the trade is actually what I took. So just shy of 15 points, 14 and a half points. I'm up 41.35 after commissions. We'll see what else, if anything, there is today. 41.35 question mark? Yeah. 220 times my 20 accounts minus commissions on those 20 accounts equals 41.35. We haven't really truly given IBA like an actual reaction. I don't really know if we're going to be honest. Kind of interesting spot, right? Like, do we actually hold 28s if we're gonna test it, or are we gonna slide through it like we've been doing? Anywhere from, you know, 31s to 21s. Close-ish. Okay. Glad I took that order off. 50 points and counting. I was saying IB has not been respected at all today, and yeah, that was a 1 minute long, almost 70 point dump. Sick. I mean, VWAP here kind of gets interesting, to be honest. 650 VWAP. Bull's exhausted, huh? Bite me, doubters. Bro, you cannot say that. Oh my god, do not even. Bro, you were talking about that in like the 700s. We ripped 60 points higher. 60 points higher than when you had said that. You cannot say that. All right, there's VWAP. Ooh, spooky. I'm out. $300 there, loser there. Came back to break even. Worth it to me, but I mean, this is a heavy candle. I thought it's a heavy candle. It's a heavy candle. 750, 140 points. Thought we'd get a little bit more reaction there, but my goodness, ain't happening. Went from plus 220 to down 295. So from 4,175 or whatever to now down 6. Went to break even very quickly, and then just the 25 point flush there was almost instantaneous. A very good green to red rotation there as well. Exciting.